Now that we have our Auth0 tenant set up, we can actually trial this out in the website. If we go back to the serverless website directory, or the workshop directory, click on Lab 2, and then Website. So we've written all the code for you, so you don't actually have to authenticate or deal with any user profiles or local storage. We've built it for you, so you can just pop in your credentials and you're ready to go. We're going to go through some of this code and also how to configure it with your Auth0 tenant. So open this directory in your favorite code editor. I'm just going to open mine with Visual Studio Code. And we can see a few files on the side now in the sidebar here. Let's open the index.html file. You'll see that it's just another website. There's nothing special about this section here. We have a navigation bar, and in the navigation bar we have a login and a logout button. We also display the user profile and their profile picture here. If we scroll down further, we can see the main body of the website. And then we get to the script section where we are actually pulling in all the code that we need. So we're pulling in the vendor files, we're pulling in some of the jQuery dependency that we use, and then we're pulling in these files here, which is part of our local files in this directory. We have a look at the JS files that we've actually provided, and then click on config.js. You'll see that you need to specify some information yourself. Just close that. So you need to specify your domain from the Auth0 domain and the client ID. So let's go and fill that in now. And we're just going to save that. Next, let's go through what this code actually does. So let's open the main.js file. And we can see that this is just using some jQuery to wait until the page has loaded and is ready. And then it's going to start off the user controller. It's going to call the init function of the user controller. And it's going to pass through some config constants, which are the constants that we defined in config.js. So let's open usercontroller.js. Here's the init function, and we can see that it's got the config. And we do a few things to start. First of all, we set up our UI elements. So we're just getting the login button, logout button, profile, profile name, and the profile picture. The next thing we do is we actually set up our Auth0 lock. And what that is it's pretty much the whole system that Auth0 uses to authenticate and sign in your user. So we actually need to set that up. What we do is we pass the client ID from our config and the domain and some parameters that we've actually specified here. Now we need to get a few other variables that usually don't get passed back from Auth0. So we're actually just specifying them in the params function here. We want the ID token and the token, as well as the ID, profile, email, and the information about the user along with their picture. We scroll down a little bit further. We can see that we're actually checking to see if we've got an ID or access token already from local storage. And local storage is what the browser uses to allow you to temporarily store variables. If we have both the access token and ID token, we actually go and grab the user profile. So if we scroll down a little bit, you can see that we're actually asking Auth0 for information about the user. When we've got information about the user through the profile, we're actually passing it to this method showUser authentication details. What that does is it just displays the profile information, the image, and it allows you to toggle the states of the buttons like the login, logout, and the profile. In the init function, we also wire events with this function here, wire events. And all that does is it actually hooks into each of the UI elements and allows you to use them by adding functionality. For example, for the logout button, when we click it, we want to remove the access token and the ID token from local storage. If we've successfully authenticated with Auth0, then we want to set the access token and the ID token, so next time we don't actually have to sign in again. And for the login button, we also want to be able to, when we click it, show the Auth0 lock screen, which is the sign up or login screen. So let's open a terminal in this directory and let's start building the website as well as get it running just to see if it's working. We can see that we've got a package.json file here, so we'll need to use npm. So I've opened the directory in a terminal window here, and we're just going to type in npm install, and this will pull in any extra dependencies that we need for the website to run. Next, we want to host this website locally. So let's go npm start. And this will work on Windows, Mac, or Linux. And there we go. We can see that a small web server has started, and it's hosting the website at these 3 links. So let's copy this one here and open it in a web browser. Now there's not much here at the moment, but it's enough to check whether our authentication is working. We'll continually add to this website as we go on through the labs, and we'll provide all the code for you, so don't stress out that you need to build anything. To test if Auth0 is working, just click on the sign up button at the top right. This should bring up the Auth0 log page, which it has, and because we don't actually have any users just yet, let's actually sign up. Let's enter an email address and a password. You can see that it actually tells you whether your password is secure enough, which mine definitely isn't. There we go. So sign up. Nope, still not enough. There we go. Now the first time that you actually sign up with this app, it'll ask you to authorize it. So just click on the green tick. And there we have it. You can see at the top, we've actually changed from the sign out button to the, sign in button to sign out. And we're even displaying that my name in the top corner. It guessed my name from my email address, that it's just julian.pittis. And it's even got a little profile picture here. It's just filling in blanks because it doesn't actually have anything yet. Now to test out whether local storage is working, we can actually just refresh the page. We can see that it's already picked up that the access token and ID token is there, so it just logged us back in. If we click on sign out, that should get rid of those 2 values. And the good thing about Auth0 lock is if we sign in again, it should provide us this really easy, is this you? So if we click on that, we don't actually have to enter our password again. And there we have it. We have a completely working serverless authentication website up and running.